Hi, today we're looking at the OpenBook Student Progress features. These features allow us to monitor student activity with the OpenBook lessons and interactive features and track student skill development. We access those by going to the teacher menu. Maybe remember Control 5. Activates the teacher password. And now we're in the OpenBook Teacher Management System. Our focus for today is on student progress. So click on the third button, third bar in the window, and that accesses the student progress menu. We have a variety of ways of looking at student progress. You can enter any one of these individually, so you can go straight to it, or you can start at the top with student status and enrollment, which we'll do today, and we'll scroll through them one by one. What you have in student status and enrollment is a comprehensive look at your students' movement through their assigned lessons in the OpenBook program. So you can see their assignments, you can see how many pages they've been assigned, how many pages they've completed, what their average minutes per page is on each one of these lessons, and how long they're spending overall in the OpenBook program. So you have all of your students lined up one after another in alphabetical order, and then you can print these and you can save them to your desktop. They save as a delimited text file, so you can upload it to word processing programs or database management programs. It's a universal file which allows you to keep and manage your data outside of the OpenBook program, in addition to keeping and managing it inside the OpenBook program. Next report. This shows students' progress in two of the OpenBook features that help students build vocabulary and word recognition and spelling. One is Word Builder. The first is Word Builder. This activity allows students to drag and drop phonemes from the OpenBook phoneme chart and create words that then show them correct spelling, give them definitions, help them build a word library. And so you can see how much time students have spent in this activity, how many words they're creating, and then how they're doing relative to each other in the class. Word recognition shows students' progress in vocabulary development. So in every OpenBook lesson sequence, we're introducing students to new vocabulary, giving them words and definitions, showing them how to spell them, teaching phonemic awareness, and then using those words in context in OpenBook text. So here you can see how many words students have been assessed on, how many they're when we're assessing them, how many get it right the first time, how many get it right the second time, how many miss it, how many words they miss completely. We score it, calculate a percentage for you, and show you how students are doing relative to the other students in the class. Again, print it, save it to your desktop for other database management. Student comprehension. With all OpenBook texts, students are getting assessed on comprehension. They're getting assessed on both factual comprehension and interpretive comprehension. And you can see here, we show you the number of questions they were asked, the number they got right, number wrong, calculated as a percentage, show how they're doing relative to the other students in the class on those lessons. When students get questions wrong, you can drill down and see exactly what the question was, what the correct answer was, and what the student answer was, so you can coach the student through that. Again, you can print that so you can sit down with the student side by side and work with them, or you can save it to your desktop. This is just a quick tabular view of students' writing. So you see students get writing assignments within their open book lesson sequences, and you can also send them to the open book writing desk where they can write their own stories, or they can write according to prompts that you give them. This shows how many writings a student has completed, what the average word count in the writings that they're doing, how many words they've missed on average, and how many words they're correcting on their own. Again, print it, save it to your desktop. This is a comprehensive feature. It's really showing you all of the ways students are interacting with an open book text. So we see how many pages of text they've read and interacted with. In open book, students can click on a word to hear that word spoken by a professional speaker, real voice professional speaker. Can click on it a second time to hear the phoneme isolation of that word by a real voice professional speech pathologist. If you've toggled students for translation and support, the third click gives them the word translation in the target language. Then we interact with the text on the sentence level, word group level. So students can click to hear a sentence in a text read aloud by a professional speaker, click to hear that sentence read aloud word by word. So we're doing word by word and left to right orientation. And then if a student's targeted for translation, you get the target language prosody, so you get it translated in a complete and correct sentence in the target language, and then you hear it word by word in the target language. Students can also select a word, any word, just to hear it spoken, and students can select on any word to activate the the video speech pathologist who articulates it phoneme by phoneme. And students can also click on the open book microphone to record themselves, either reading sentences aloud with expression to practice their own prosody and fluency, and they can also click and do phoneme isolation so they can practice their own phonemic awareness. Again, print these, save them to your desktop. When there are a variety of assessments in the open book program, when student takes an assessment, you see what version they've taken. We date stamp it for you and show you the score. No one's taken the fluency level, learning styles. Basic skills assessment. This is students' reading readiness. So we're looking at some specific skills that are important to reading readiness. First, letter recognition, lowercase and uppercase letter recognition, recognition of 10 basic color words, the 10 number words. We're asking them to identify shape words, starts with a letter, ends with a letter, starts with a sound, ends with a sound, and same and different. This assessment helps you identify gaps in students' reading readiness, and so it allows you to be able to go in and address those gaps in reading readiness. And it also allows you to do follow-up assessments after students have had some practice in the open book program. You can see their progression in those basic skills. And so here we are back to the student status and enrollment page. You have another way to explore student data. You can click on the charts. I'm going to click on Ray. Ray's done a lot of work in the open book program. This is a graphical demonstration of the tools that you saw in tabular form earlier. So we're looking at, we have how many times the students clicked to hear a word in an open book text, to have it repeated, read aloud to them. How many, if they've done it more than once, if they've clicked on sentences to hear those sentences read aloud, if they've clicked on those sentences again to hear the word by word isolation of those sentences And you can see if they've clicked on the microphone to practice their own uh, prosody and fluency. Prompt dependence. When we ask students to spell a word or fill in missing words, or we also give them cloze exercises and prepared dictation. If a student doesn't know how to move forward with a word, first we give them the prompt so that they hear the word, the target word that they're being asked to spell or to fill in the blanks with. And then if they can't get any further than that, we start to bring up animated hands, which show them how to type the word letter by letter in correct keyboard position. Word recognition. Word recognition, again, it goes back to that tabular report that you saw where we're identifying seeing if students can identify vocabulary words first time, second time, or if they miss it altogether. In the graphical form, you get a quick look, so you get an easy, you can see right away that Ray is improving over time in Ray's ability to recognize the words that are being presented. And you can then also click on any of these columns to see the exact words, so you can see exactly what Ray may be having trouble with here in the word recognition area. Writings, again, this is a graphical representation of what we saw in tabular form earlier. So again, you can get a quick overview of the student writing. You can see when they've spelled a word that the correct spelling is actually the phonetic spelling. You can see when they've spelled a word when they've spelled a word phonetically, but the correct spelling actually differs from the phonetic spelling. You can see when a student's spelled a word correctly, but it's a sight word, so it's not spelled phonetically, and the students recognize this as a sight word, and so didn't spell it phonetically, spelled it conventionally. Red is when students have corrected or edited their own words, so they've done self-correction. So you can see students' progress towards self-correction. And then words that they haven't spelled correctly, and they haven't either had the open book support to correct them or corrected them yourselves. So you can see Ray is gradually starting to improve her performance on self-correction. You can see less and less blue as Ray moves forward. Word Builder, again, this is the Alconen tiling exercises where students can grab phonemes from an open book chart, dynamically move them to a line, and create their own words, so they can build up their vocabulary and their phonemic awareness. You can see here the words that Ray's built using Word Builder, and you can see what phonemes Ray's using to do that. So we're giving you pretty comprehensive reporting features. Now let me take you back to student writing and show you, here's Ray's story. Here's how you can use these tools down here. Again, you can print these stories, and you can also send students a voicemail from anywhere on the open book report feature. So I'm going to send Ray a voicemail from the story editor, and so I click on the microphone. Hi Ray, I see you went fishing with your father when you went on your Florida vacation. Sounds like great fun. And I didn't know you had a fish tank. Tell me more about the fish in your fish tank. So I can create a voicemail for Ray. I can listen to it and make sure I'm saying what I hope I'm saying, and then I can save it. And when I save that voicemail, the next time Ray goes in, so we'll go into the student menu, we'll find Ray on the student list. The next time Ray goes in, Ray's going to have a message bubble before Ray goes into the main lesson. Hi Ray, I see you went fishing with your father when you went on your Florida vacation. Sounds like great fun. And I didn't know you had a fish tank. Tell me more about the fish in your fish tank. So now we can go back to the teacher menu. You can imagine how motivating a feature like that is for your students. So let me tell you one other thing. I've given you this demonstration. If you've been taking notes, you've got a lot of information about it. But also let me show you something you always have available to you. This question mark icon is just-in-time training. We have it for the students, but we also have it for you. So anytime you are on a feature or function page of OpenBook and you want to know exactly how it's used, or don't know or don't remember any of the particular features of it, you can click on the question mark icon and get a multimedia training of that page.
This data on the gray background is used only for purposes of this help explanation. Your actual student data will be restored when this explanation is complete, or you interrupt this explanation by clicking your mouse. The Student Comprehension Report reflects the scores your students achieved when they completed these question and answer activities. Each student's scoring is done both for their test results on each chapter and for the total of all their chapters. This means each student's ranking will be based upon how that student compares with other students by chapter and by the total answers from all the assigned chapters. To see a detailed list of questions the student missed, click on any line of the student's record and then click on Next. The detail list will show the chapter, the page number, the question, the correct answer, and the incorrect answer the student selected. The report can be printed or exported to a file. To return to the class list, click on Next. You can print this report by clicking on the Print icon, or export it to a file, or view other reports by clicking on Next Report, or click on Charts to view detailed progress charts for each student.
I'm going to click on the Scholar hat, go back to the main menu. So you have this video to help yourself learn more about, in this video sequence, to help you learn more about the OpenBook features and functions. You have the just-in-time training and the question mark. And please contact us. That's what we're here for. So you can email us at info@openbooklearning.com. That's info@openbooklearning, all three.com. info@openbooklearning.com. And you can schedule a personalized webinar training, or you can bring training to your school for your staff. So have a great day, and please use OpenBook to support your students' performance.